Hello everyone and welcome back to Two Bros Game Night. I am your host, Older Bro.
I'm your other host, Younger Bro.
And today we continue in a dull sadness.
Yeah, that is National Park Girls.
Very sad.
Why are we still playing this game?
Because we're all sad. A dull sadness pulses somewhere hidden in my chest. I'm not sure if it's anything deep, just a shallow wistfulness.
But to say that I've been obliterated would be a true disservice to whoever it is that I was.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure the old you is still you. As in, like, which is what she's saying, but what I mean is, like, I don't think her personality has changed that much in her transformation. She was still very kind and loving to all things. It's just that she's no longer a mother figure. She's now a daughter figure. But the kind of person she is the same. It's just that Yellowstone doesn't want her to be her child. Yellowstone wants her to be her mother.
Seems same.
Yeah. A sharp wind pushes at us from behind. Zion's satisfied smile gets a little bigger. As her eyes sneak to the peripheral, I make a subtle turn to see what she's looking at. Behind us, Yosemite's tall figure watches from the brush. She stands still, careful to do nothing that would make herself known. So, she's like a deer. Like, shh, shh. Eve, there's a deer behind you.
Obliteration isn't real. Everything echoes. Whether me, you, or anyone else knows it or not.
Obliteration isn't
Everything
real. Let
is
me go get a
passed down.
nuke.
Yeah.
No one ever truly leaves their old self behind. The old informs the new. It'd be imaginary without it. And not just ourselves, but others too. It's not scary, not one tiny bit.
No,
Because
what's
any
scary
part of
is
yourself
what if
that's ever
you
been
reset
will
yourself
always
again and
be.
you become a murderous psychopath?
Yeah, but the point they're trying to make is... The point that the entire point of this chapter is that Zion is still Zion, even after she became
Someone else.
Chibi Zion. She just stopped being a mother figure to Yosemite, but she still is the same kind-hearted soul. Who she is, the type of person she is didn't change.
Yeah, I got that.
And so it's like, no, that wouldn't happen.
But that'd be interesting.
I wonder who she's talking to at this point. It's cheeky, more like a sneaky imp than a delicate angel. But who can stand beside an angel and argue with their message aside from the devil and his advocates? Wow, I didn't realize that we were gonna get some Christian symbolism in this fucking
I mean, she
game.
is. She looks like an
the residual
angel.
effects of misery last forever. Huh.
Yes, has the building blocks to much better things.
You haven't played Minecraft.
Only to be tossed into the lake of fire. That's real obliteration. Strands of Zion's golden hair flutter in the breeze. Petals and leaves fall off her body, drifting into the clear blue sky. Back in California, at the cabin, I bet the storm's still raging. Dark skies and howling wind. National parks have the range of a choir.
So, can I ask a question?
No, you may
I
not.
think you just did. But another one is okay too.
Shut up.
Shut up, you smartass.
Do you, have the wings because of the names of places like this? Or is there a logistical reason for it? I don't understand why you girls look the way you do at all.
Yeah, that is weird.
The twinkle in her eyes dulls. Her sage smile goes flat.
Miss Eve, stop overcomplicating everything.
Why do you have wings, though?
Stop overcomplicating everything.
Switch.
Wait, what do you mean switch?
What?
What do you mean switch?
Okay, so now we're in Yosemite.
I mean, I know what they mean by switch, but what do you mean switch?
What? Come on.
Zion and the Ranger stay for... She can't even call her Eve. She can only call her the Ranger.
Yeah.
Zion and the Ranger stay for a while longer. The conversation lapsing into a discussion about Zion National Park and the sights of the area. Oh, now you say Eve just because I fucking called you out for it, you asshole. Fucking asshole, predictive text game. Eve isn't one to get excited about many things, but as she talks about all the sites she wants to camp at on the trail she wants to hike, there's a real light that exudes from her. To be truthful, I prefer it to the hopelessness that weighs down her personality constantly. It's easy to imagine myself with that kind of light when she's an example to follow by. Eventually they grab hands and vanish within the blink of an eye. A quick scuff of wind is the only proof they were there. I don't think they noticed me. Being observant is one of the things I pride myself most on.
You suck.
So lurking out of sight isn't a difficult task. Sifting out of the brush, I take a seat on the edge of the cliff. Because of Zion's painting, I have immediate access to this place, but I choose not to come very often. It's a painful reminder of things I know I'll need reminders of. It's a painful reminder of things I know I'll need reminders of. Still, it's a wondrous view, unlike anything in my park and me. The ranger disagrees. Okay, first off, that fucking mountain range is not at the same, like, you shifted the angle on me. I don't like this. It looks like they fucking flipped the image.
She went from one mountain range to the
No, it literally just looks like they inverted the image and it should point the other way. But whatever, it doesn't matter. Yeah. But the ranger would disagree, miss. I love the top of this Limbert Dome.
I still don't know how I feel about the painting art versus anime art. It just doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't mesh well.
Feel right. Like, I understand if it was like for one image, it's like, oh, we had a contest, we put this one.
But no, they want to have they want to have the images. They want the images to look like a
almost like a Western, honestly.
Well, no, I was gonna say they want it to look like a Bob Ross painting. But the characters don't fit in this art style. Yeah. Except those kids that were actually adults in the last chapter who did fit in this art style. Yeah, so it's I don't know.
I don't know how I feel about it.
The sky turns a magical golden orange, as if the sunset is jealous and chosen to copy the colors of the very mountains it sets behind. The river is not jealous, however. It naturally reflects whatever surrounds it. The river can be whatever it wants and whatever it needs to be. So I sit there, hoping the blue strands of my hair can do the same as the rivers they invoke, to reflect the things in front of me, even if they are not what I am, so I can chameleon myself as those things.
So I sit there, still pissed off.
Yeah, perhaps eventually becoming them in earnest.
I flash forward the sky so it's nighttime.
I do that until the light sinks below the horizon. Then the river only reflects the darkness, and eventually the moon. There's static. I'm skipping this. And now there's rain. There's darkness. Sadness. And then there's rain.
Teleport back to the cabin.
I stand in front of the door. Immediate access to anywhere within the confines of the park, and I am still too much of a coward to zap myself inside. The lightning sizzles through the sky, and for precious seconds it lights up the dark shadows of the surrounding mountains as if they were day. I don't like the phrase of this sentence.
Hey, what are you referencing me for?
I don't like the idea that Thunder is the younger brother of Lightning.
No, it's freaking Thunder.
Also, I'm relatively certain that they're twins.
Yeah, I am the Lightning, older bro's the Thunder.
Gotta think, were Lightning and Thunder the same age?
Lightning and the Thunder.
I'm actually pretty sure it was that Lightning was actually the younger of the two, if not the same age as Thunder. Can't remember.
What does that mean?
I'm referencing something.
I don't get it.
Sad. Its younger brother Thunder moans, booming at me, demanding that I face what my panic has wrought. I could stay out here forever and ignore it, but I choose not to. I twist the knob and creep through the door. Everyone's sitting up awake.
I was gonna say there's a shotgun in my face.
got a lot of nerve to come back here.
Explain why I shouldn't shoot you in the face right now.
Holy shit.
I'm a river.
Honestly, do you really think this will work?
No, but it made me happy.
Yeah, but it did make me smile for a minute. No, the inside of the cabin is blanketed in shadows. No electricity, not even fire. The dim luminescence of the outside world, the light that would be there, if even the sun itself. The light that would be there even if even the sun itself was snuffed off. Wasn't?
The light that would be there if even the sun itself was snuffed out. No, I don't.
Okay, here's the problem. The light coming through the windows is from the sun. I mean, technically it's from the moon, but like, the point is, the line is saying the light from outside bleeds through the windows, and then it says, but it puts in the middle, the light from the outside would be there even if even the sun was snuffed out. Just saying, the light that would be there. Like, if the sun was snuffed out, there would be no light.
Yeah.
So what are you talking about? If the sun was snuffed out, the light would still be there. What are you fucking saying?
Look, can we just agree that this guy or whoever's writing this goes into...
Well, it's a studio.
The studio goes into a lot of fucking detail.
The studio goes into a lot of detail, and sometimes the detail obfuscates what the fuck they're saying. I'm not sure what you're saying here. Anyways, there's no such thing as pitch black.
Yosemite? Is that you?
No, I'm Santa Claus.
Her voice is a groggy whisper. Even that feels like a challenge, as do most things from her. The urge to answer is too great.
No, I'm an intruder.
Oh.
Here to desecrate your federal property.
Shh. Not so loud.
Wait, hold on. I just want to make sure the federal property is the cabin and not her body, right?
Oh. I didn't know.
It's night.
Yeah, but here's the weird thing. It was like mid-afternoon there. And then it became night. So shouldn't it be like the middle of day now?
Like, how far is Yosemite from Zion?
Not that long, but then again, so that's the point. If it was, I don't know, the time of day is weird because it's raining. So technically it could have still been daylight out when it was storming. But it felt like night.
This is why you should research, like, hours.
Okay, here's the thing. So, Utah is where... They're in California. Utah is where Zion National Park is. So it's like one time zone away.
So it'd be like an hour.
So it's like an hour earlier in California from Utah.
Okay.
So if it's night there, it's 1 hour less night here, technically.
But it's still night.
Yeah. But it didn't feel like that when they came here, where it was fucking raining and looked pitch black out here, and it was like late evening there, maybe dusk. And it's like, what? I don't know. My banter just got shut down, utterly. It feels embarrassing.
This
Don't
is
just
so
stand there. You're
embarrassing.
letting all the cold air in.
My heart somersaults as I hurry to shut the door. Quietly, of course. The atmosphere is so strange, as if the entire cabin's axis has been shifted. Subtle, but noticeable. The floorboards squeak as I tiptoe across the cabin.
My feet are burning, baby.
I take another step. It's a quiet grunt. More of an irritated breath than a growl. I look down to see the coyote puppy baring his top row of teeth at me. He's laying on his side, legs and ears spread out. It lessens the danger, but I scurry to the ranger-shaped outline on the couch anyways.
Doc, my teeth keep falling out. Yeah.
Doc! Yum! What the fuck?
Yellowstone is also sitting on the couch, slouched over onto Eve's shoulder. Oh, she's sitting down right now. And drooling. Incoherent dream words slip out of between her snores.
Look.
Her eyes signal down. Curled like a... Let's just say baby, please.
Yes.
Curled like I don't like the idea of... Yeah,
They're only saying it to make her sound more smart, but it's like,
but
just say baby. Like
this... Yeah, this feels like I'm walking into a trap here. Like, I'm about to argue with, like, abortion experts or something, but please actually just say baby, please. Like
when she says baby,
or just like curled up like a young child. Just like don't. No,
that's fine.
I don't like this use of this term. This is just sparking of debate that doesn't need to exist. Zion takes up the last free cushion, but it's small enough for the couch to feel spacious. There's a soft rhythm to her breath.
More like suspicious.
Her sleep always seems so peaceful. No murmurs or snores. It's such a contrast to the panic she carries with her throughout the day. It gives me the impression that the life she leads when she's dreaming may be the real one, and all of this is just a brief and bittersweet vision, a byproduct. I brush her bangs out of the way of her forehead and run my fingers through the rest of her hair. It's soft and weightless, as if we're made of the fabric and strands of all the feathers that have ever fallen from her wings.
There's something broken in me, isn't there?
Does hide your face?
Welcome to the club. Now sit down.
Where?
Is that an offer? A demand? Probably both. I hesitate, and somehow I know that I'll be doing that a lot more lately. Hesitating, thinking, listening to Eve. Even though I already do that far too much of the latter. I don't change the order of that list. Fear of forgiving and the fear of tomorrow will continue to color everything I do from now on. Just as it's coloring my perception of Zion at this very moment. From loving mentor to child I love, and now to enigma. Everything is shifting. I know that, despite how much I try to fight against it. Does doing so make me a worse version of me? I want to uncover truths. It's all I devote myself to, and yet here I am, kicking against the inconvenient truths. This is such a fucking awkward...
What the fuck?
How in the actual hell can you say, I slide under the couch careful not to stir Zion, when this is the image?
Yeah, it looks like you're disturbing her right now.
Yeah, it's like, no. Gently, I shift her onto my lap. That is also not true.
That doesn't mean you're disturbing her. What?
She tosses, and my heart drops, as I try to will her from waking up. It seems to work, because she only nuzzles deeper into me. Eve does her best attempt to turn her head as she tries to navigate the uncomfortable position of Yellowstone's volcano, weighing down most of her left neck muscles.
I called you selfish earlier.
Also,
You
a
did.
little bit of lava fell onto me.
It's not damning.
I think
It
I need to
should
go
be,
to the
though.
hospital. Like, now.
I
I'm
know what
burning.
I am.
You do?
Of course. I'm selfish. Vindictive and scared. In my crisis, I drag down others to my low. Make them as afraid and uncertain as me.
I look to Yellowstone. Her sleeps are never quite as restful as Zion's. I've heard her mumble lists of chores and expectations in her sleep before. I've heard her whimper as well. Then I look to Zion, an image of perfection I'm unsure ever even existed, despite being so sure this morning, but probably not. The Ranger, Eve. The Ranger. Sorry.
Yeah.
Eve. Chews on her bottom lip, contemplating my words. The things I've always treated as weapons, but are really just shields.
It's true. You're all of those things. I've been right about you since day one. It's
I have a
fun,
good
though.
bullshit detective.
I am too.
She reaches to pat the back of my hand twice, then draws it away. A smirk forces its way across my lips, although I can't describe it as anything but cynical.
Well, you are only human after all.
I don't know.
Yeah, you see what I'm going on about
good damn
too.
luck.
Like,
Good
how
luck.
can she reach over to Yellowstone
Good
in
luck.
this? Sorry, Yosemite in this image. Like,
Yeah, good
That's bullshit.
Fog presses against the window across the room, water trailing down the glass. The patter of rain taps against the roof. Until it's over, I don't believe any of us will leave the couch.
Because here's the thing. Their hands are incredibly small.
Yeah.
Like, for whatever reason, they have big heads with small bodies. So I have no idea how she can reach.
Wherever are you hiding? Oh, dear me. If she doesn't appear soon, I won't be able to tell her a story. Our picnic will be ruined. Whatever shall I do?
Wait, I'm right here! I want to hear the story!
Oh, I'm not so sure now. It's getting rather late. Perhaps we should return to the cabin.
Wow, that cabin is old.
Preposterous!
It's preposterous, dear.
Preposterous! Please, Zion! I want to hear the story about the swallow again! Tell me the swallow story!
Goodness. I suppose I have no choice then.
No, you certainly do not!
Very well. Come sit down, little one. You can't listen to a story from all the way over there, now can you?
And now suddenly she can remember.
Straighten your posture.
Yeah, that's about
This
right.
voice doesn't really fit with the character. I
I mean, it fits with Yellowstone.
I
Or
get
Yosemite.
Yellowstone, but Zion,
Sorry,
I'm
Yosemite.
not too sure.
Zion, yeah, not quite, but pretty good.
But Zion, must I really?
Only if you respect yourself.
I think there should be elegant music in the background too.
Yeah.
Now?
Once upon a time, there was a poor man in a field. In the past, he had been quite popular, but rambunctiousness had gotten the better of him, and he had spent all his valuable possessions, including his clothes. While wandering the endless field, he saw a swallow overhead.
We're not allowed to hear the full story.
That's disappointing. We want to hear the swallow.
The
We
swallow
want to
story.
hear the Pokemon story.
Yeah, the chapter's called Daughter of Zion.
Howdy-o, campers, and welcome
There
back to
it
another
is.
edition of mine and Zion's Fireside Chat. Hello.
Where's the fire?
It's very nice to be here.
It's beside a fire. That doesn't mean we can see
Today
the fire.
we're going to talk about something we've seen a whole lot of people getting discombobulated over.
Yeah, the
Is
fact
it
that
your head?
no. It is Yosemite or
So to
Eve
be
reaching
really
across
all
that
about the
couch.
dealio with ya, I'm starting to get a little sensitive about that. Nah, this time we're gonna explain once and for all the difference between a national park and a national monument.
Okay.
Okay. The park is a park. A monument is a structure.
That's the difference.
Like, How the fuck is this that hard to understand?
Surprising amount of confusion over
It really is confusing.
We will be able to help.
Really, this is a real,
That's
really.
surprising. I mean, they both got the word national in them. Most folks just zone out after the first word of phrase.
How?
You know,
Like,
I don't
If this, I don't see how this is real.
look. I don't think. Yeah, you know what? The next time I go to the to an NFL game, I'll confuse that with the national fucking anthem because they both have the word national in them.
National NFL League
They
national
do?
anthem.
Oh, maybe only I do that. I love you, Yellowstone.
You do?
Wait, why doesn't it sound like you mean it? So, there are more details to go into, but the most important thing to understand is that a national park
But
can
you
only
need
be
to put it in
established
quotes.
by an act of Congress. A national monument is established through a presidential proclamation.
Okay, that actually is a big, like a bit different of a difference, but
But here's the thing, how is it that confusing? Like,
It's that simple? Hot diggity, this is gonna be our shortest episode yet!
is it because people are
So fast,
confusing,
Yellowstone.
like,
These
Mount
nice people
Rushmore
are
as,
here
like,
to
a
be
national
educated.
park or
We
national
have to do our
monument?
jobs.
it's
For their
yeah.
sake.
But that's a situation where it's literally a fucking mountain, so it could be either. It's a carving in a mountain, so it's like you could see either one.
It's either
Are
one.
you sure? What if they get funny ideas and start making weird fan art about National Monument girls?
They already
I
probably
don't think
did.
I'm ready for that.
To be fair, I can barely find any like photos of these girls, and that's the official fucking art I can barely find.
Oh, wow.
Like, no,
What,
I don't
is
think
National
there's
Monument Girls gonna be their next thing?
probably.
It's a risk we have to be willing to take for education.
So you're
Look,
confused.
I want to know where the National Park girl of the Grand Canyon is.
Working on it.
For education.
No, you're not.
It's probably in the sequel.
So, if national parks are decided by Congress and national monuments are decided by the president, doesn't that mean any old place can become one or the other? Not quite. This is when things start to get a little more complicated.
A little.
Please bear with us by standing your ground and appearing large.
And
We're
roaring like a
sitting. Does
bear.
that count?
Stone, you're confusing your bears again.
Yeah, that's the joke.
Even if that's true, it'll never stop me from bearing my soul.
That's it. I'm leaving.
For monuments, it's a little easier. As long as a building, site, or piece of land is significant in some way, then it can be declared a national monument. In fact, this is how we determine the difference between a national historic site and a national historical park. Don't tell me there's a difference. Boy, this is only getting more and
Why
more
are there two different terms for the
confusing.
same thing? If a national historical monument is a national monument, and a national historical park is a national park, why would you even have two different terms for this?
Yeah.
I'll try my best to explain.
Yeah.
Basically, sites can be historic in that significant events happened there, like Ford's Theater, where President Lincoln was assassinated. Meanwhile, parks are designated independently of any events that may have occurred there. They may be historical, but in order for a place to be considered a park, national historic or otherwise, it has to have opportunities for recreational activities.
So.
Like hiking and rock climbing and other trail junk.
Trill!
That's right. Size is also important too. Small
Yeah,
parks
that
used to
I
be
was about to
established
make a
occasion,
comment on the
but
size.
in modern times, it's expected for a park to be big enough for broad use. So if it makes you feel itty bitty and tiny, then it's probably a park?
Dog parks beg to differ.
Yeah.
That's a good way to look at it. Although there will always be exceptions.
Yeah, like dog
Yeah.
parks.
Seems like there's a tractor load of those. Yeah, it's a teeny bit messy. Most monuments, parks, and sites are managed by the National Park Service, though.
Yep.
But sometimes, the Bureau of Land Management is in charge of them, or even other departments.
Like the Forestry Service.
Sometimes people push for things to be more organized, but that's probably a long ways off, so you shouldn't hold your breath.
Oh, don't you say. Hold on, let me break out a fucking list of this while we continue.
No, seriously, Yellowstone, stop holding your breath.
Wait, that was?
Oh well, guess for now we just gotta keep appreciating the messy beauty we got now. Who cares about names or what's official? As long as folks get a chance to see neato places, it's all square in my book.
Sure, let's go with that.
Just make sure to come visit us first, or else we'll get lonely.
That's sad.
Well, thanks for dropping by, but it looks like we gotta split. Catch you next time, campers, and remember to love our parks. Bye-bye!
Yeah, I think our vacation said just how much we love parks.
Yeah, so, hold on, let me
Oh
just...
my god, that looks exactly like the museum
Hey,
we
look,
saw at the
it seems
park.
like this artwork looks a little bit cleaner than the last artwork. In that it no longer looks like it no longer looks like a Bob Ross painting, and looks more like someone split the difference.
I'm wondering if this is something similar to, like, DDLC, A Brand New Day. They had sample art. So I'm wondering if this is a sample art and they're going to change it later.
Could be. We don't know.
Because this game is not done.
That is true.
So we could be harshly judging something that they're just going to change later.
Yep, that is true.
So we apologize if that is your plan.
Maybe. So, yeah. So, for example, to get back to the question I was trying to talk about. So, people are talking about, like, how things are a bit confusing about whether or not national parks are under, and national monuments are under the Park Service, or, yeah, the Bureau of Land Management, and others. So I'm gonna temporarily do an actual political aside and talk about the actual fucking departments of the government of the United States. In that, we have, like, you know, for example, you've heard of, like, the Secretary of State.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's secretaries over different departments. So there's the Department of State, the Department of the Treasury, the Department of Defense, the Department of Justice, the
Yes.
Department of the Interior, which is specifically... Let me get a good description of that.
Interiors.
All federal lands and national resources. So the Department of the Interior is the,
Over the national parks.
yes. The national parks is part of, is part of this branch. But there's a lot of other things, too. Because, for example, the National Park Service is in here. There's, within the Department of the Interior, there is the National Park Service. Under the Fish, Wildlife, and Parks, a secretary. So there's an under-secretary under the main secretary who handles the National Park Service and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, which are different services. Also, there's the Bureau of Land Management, which is a different service. So is...
No wonder.
There's also a different service for the Bureau of Safety and Environmental Enforcement, which is different than the fucking Fish and Wildlife Service.
No wonder Zion didn't want to talk about it.
No, the Department of the Interior has often been called the Department of Everything Else, because they handle literally everything that's not simple and easy to categorize like every other department. Anyways, continuing on. There's also...
8 hours later.
All of that to say, I'm going to move on temporarily and, like, a little bit longer in the episode, just because I don't want to end off on talking about the fucking presidential departments. So, we'll go a little bit longer in this one episode. Sorry, guys. Who the fuck is Ruben? The porky little kid raises his hand and tries to jump, spouting off another series of gotcha questions
Brother?
for the infinitieth time today. Pretty sure they're all designed to either make me look bad or make him look better. Oh, I get it. This is one of those, the field trip tours. Either way, I've developed a personal grudge against this 9-year-old.
Well, you see, Ruben, you little bundle of stardust, you. This is a bark house. And if you listened to the other times I told you, I'm sure you would have known that.
Holy shit.
This is the nicest I've ever heard Eve be.
Like
She is still being an asshole, but it's the nicest asshole I've ever seen.
Kinky. Oh, not like that, pervert!
My tightened cheeks wobble as I struggle to keep faking the smile. Don't think it's convincing, though. The thumbtack-looking teacher is sipping at his travel mug more often, and with growing urgency.
Yeah, but Ranger Adams, it looks like a teepee. I'm just saying.
It's not a teepee.
Also, TP only has 2 eyes. The teacher leans away from his mug to interrupt, but I don't give him the chance.
A teepee is made from animal skin. Does this look like animal skin to you? No, it doesn't. It's made of bark, which you can see because you have eyes. Hence the name. You ask such great questions, Ruben. Now someone else give me another one.
Thank you. Barely managed to hold that one together, but all things considered, never mind. I was gonna make a joke, but not too bad. I'm at least not screaming at children yet. And this is where we'll end off. With her about to break into screaming at a child. So, that's gonna be
Use your eyes!
That's gonna be it for this episode, guys. We will come back next time and continue on in National Park Girls, where we will not talk about the executive branch of the United States government anymore. I hope.
Yeah,
Until then, the
politics
future
out
is
of my
very...
gaming.
This is not political. It's literally describing how the government literally functions.
Okay, let's change...
It's not a debatable topic in any way. It's factually how it works.
Let's change it then to keep your government out of my
Keep
game.
the government out. It's a fucking national park. How can I keep the government out? It's literally a federal entity. That's gonna be it for this episode. We'll come back next time. The future's very uncertain. You're awesome. We'll see you later.
Goodbye, government.